This is True Buds, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.
Yeah, well, welcome to the True Bud Show. It's your buddy, it's your host, it's your friend, Jack Woltering, with another True Bud Show podcast episode. Now, you might be saying, this sounds different, this looks different, what's going on? Well, I'm going to be real with you. I recorded in about an hour, like a 50-some minute episode today at the studio with a shout out to Girly Ganja. She came out, we talked about growing, we had a great talk, coming in from out of town, and then I get the news when I'm ready to edit, like, yo, you're not going to get your footage or your MP3 file, and I'm kind of like, fuck, I got to have this to the True Buds tomorrow, so I'm in kind of a pickle. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash the studio, but like, I'm in a fucked up place because I deliver every Wednesday for the podcast. I deliver every Wednesday and Sunday on the YouTube channel. And I pride myself in that shit. That's what I do. It's going to be there. So the fact that this shit didn't pull through, I'm still doing this. I'm still talking. I'm still trying to make something out of nothing. And let's just talk a little bit more. I kind of need my girl got me these because the art looked dope. It's American Haze. I kind of need a beer after this news. I should be editing this other podcast right now. And that's the thing. If it was just me, if it was a solo podcast, I wouldn't really give two fucks. I'd be like, it's all good. I'll go do the same take tomorrow. But when you start adding other people in the mix and their schedules and you line shit out from out of town, that's when I feel bad. Like, if it's on me, that's cool. But when it comes to other people that, they put their shit on that, and that comes on me and makes me look bad. So that's where I feel bad. So I'm sorry. And I hope we can link up again to do another podcast, because this shit today was chill. We were dropping some real knowledge about like indoor, outdoor grows, the business, coming up in the social media aspect, making videos. Like, today's podcast was full of legit quality information. And you can see me. I mean, I'm usually not this amped up. I'm a little more laid back. And I don't know where this is going to go today. I turned on the cameras. I kind of made a little podcast studio here. I'm like, I got to deliver. Let's see what happens. But I guess I can talk about some content that I got coming at ya. So, I recently did a video on Shopify, the stock and all that shit, and how it's supposed to blast off, depending on the market. That's the key thing, depending. And in the videos, I'm like, I'm no stock trader. I just know what's kind of popping in the cannabis industry. So my bro actually hit me up, and I made a whole video about this, about 8 minutes, about Canopy Growth Corporation and the stock. I made another video in 2017 about Constellation Brands and Canopy, and I wish I acted back then. So go check out that old video back then, and keep an eye out for one that I got coming at you soon. And I'm going to start kind of just rolling up here while I'm talking to you. I want to start bringing more news into the mix, talking about what's going on in this world. So in a second, I'm about to get on the computer and just Google some news. I should have had it lined out before this, like I usually plan my videos, but when shit fucks up, you got to do what you got to do, and the irony of all of this is at the end of the podcast, I mentioned Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And I've realized this just like so much, like, especially in film, like there's so many like different layers, like there's so much like going on, equipment, like files, like it's so easy for something to go wrong. So that's why it's weird to me that I said that. I haven't said Murphy's Law in a minute, and then I'm hit with, yo, you're not going to get your files today. And I'm like, yo, I was waiting to edit those tonight because I got a jam-packed fucking week. I got to hustle. I got to get the True Buds the content. So that's why I'm here. And when I have my headphones on right now, I hear like a little buzzing in the mic that I've been trying to get like rid of. but I feel that it's just because it's a kind of a shitty mic. It's a blue mic, and it picks everything up. I'm not kidding you. Did you just hear that mouse fart a couple doors away? That was on the mic. I'm just fucking playing, but like shit's real. Like this mic is not that quality. It was just kind of the first like YouTubers like, and I think they did a good marketing in that, and they probably did a good social outreach to make that happen. So it's interesting to think about Blues marketing. They don't have the best mics, but I would say they're one of the most frequent ones you've seen. You know, maybe not these days, but 5-10 years ago, this was like the hot shit. I was rolling up had a buddy give me some weed. He's like, "You want some flour, bro?" I'm like, "Sure." I'm like, "You don't want it?" He's like, "No, I have no need for it." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll take it." I always like to just do that. But yeah, what else does True Buds have popping? Oh, I mentioned this on the podcast today. As you see, I'm wearing like a new shirt. I made a couple like merch sales last week, and I'm like, damn, I've been sleeping on the own True Buds brand. So go check out truebudstv.com. There's a link to the Teespring where you can get all the merch. Cool thing is I have some dope merch coming. You know about the True Buds Smokers tank. If this is your first time listening or watching or tuning in to True Buds TV or the True Buds show, just go to YouTube, type in True Buds tank, True Buds TV tank top. It'll come up. And it's basically a tank top I've been formulating for people who love to smoke, hold your papers, have some secret pockets for, whatever you're feeling. And that's about to launch soon as well. I have a dope cartoonist. I hope that's the right word. I'm working on a design for me. I came up with a funny idea that looks dope in my mind. So I want this artist to put it to paper. Then we're going to put it to shirt and other products. And I think you're going to be feeling it because it represents the cannabis industry as well as freedom. And it's not my style, and I'm not trying to bash the studio. I can't stress that enough. I'm just saying I got to keep making content. I got to keep working. Just because something fucks up doesn't mean you can stop. And I'll be interested to see how this does. Like, will this podcast get as many listens or views? Maybe it'll get more. Like, oh shit, like, this is just a different take. I love smoking too. I wish I could just light up a J in the studio. But let's just look into some weed news. Kind of go with the flow. See where this takes us. Just went on Leafly here as it loads up. Where did it go? Got too many tabs open, man. You guys do that? You open too many tabs. I'm always opening too many tabs. Oh, it was their thing like you 21 or over. I have one of those on my site too, just to be safe. 6 minutes ago, cannabis and coronavirus. Here's what you need to know. Let's see what this article's about. It says how cannabis users stop sharing blunts, bongs, coronavirus is spreading. It's basically saying, don't be having fat smoke sessions. Just smoke some personal shit. Wash your hands. Don't buy into unproven coronavirus remedies. Yeah, no shit. Fucking idiots are going to buy that shit. Don't mean to hate on the writer of this, but come on. Be cautious with cannabis around. That just seems like a keyword article to me. Leafly, I love you. You guys do good shit, but I don't know about that article. Five cannabis strains for people who love vanilla. Now this looks more up my alley. I fucking love vanilla. Vanilla bean. Vanilla kush. Wedding cake. Had. Mendo breath. I've not had ice cream cake. I've had orange dream. So out of those 5, I've had 4 of those strains. Gotta hit up that ice cream cake. Ed Webb talking to you guys. I just want to take a second and say, those who are listening right now, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you're listening, go subscribe to TrueBuds TV or just hit me up at jack@truebudstv.com because I'm always looking to interact learn. I mean, maybe you'd be a good guest, or maybe you just have a question you want me to ask a guest. Let's just stay in tune and see what's going down like that. Let's go to a different site. High Times. High Times is a vouched company. Vouched. I don't know if that made sense. Just saying stuff that Missouri lawmakers probe rejected cannabis business applications after appeals. Nope. So Utah's first medical cannabis dispensary, that just got to me, opened this Monday. So it's open. See, I'm trying to read. I should have been more prepped, so I'm just going to talk to you guys. That's dope that it's opening. I'll just read the headlines and kind of just give my thoughts instead of reading the article, Vermont House gives preliminary okay to commercial cannabis industry bill. Good. I feel like Vermont's always been on that game. Texas law enforcement will not test THC levels in misdemeanor possession cases. Interesting. Okay. Once again, this is High Times. Sales tax data reveals true large scope of Maine's medical marijuana market. Interesting. To me, the news that interests me the most is just like, I guess it's local, what's going on in California with the legalities, but more than that is the United States as a whole. What's really happening here? Will it become federal? Like, let's just talk about that for a second, because I don't know. I don't know. You've seen me talking to many guests. I've had so many dope guests on this show, and that's why I feel bad today. And that's why I'm going to say sorry again to Girly Ganja for dropping the ball here at the studio. Like, I'd like to say it's not all me, but I take blame because I'm the producer and I'm the one who makes the show. And that's why I like to see the cup half full. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, to prove to you that you can get out and do it and fucking hustle. Like, I have a studio where I'm producing the podcast, but yet I decided to make it happen here because shit got fucked up. But maybe this is just me being an optimist. Maybe this is the glass half full type of shit. And this is maybe the thing that will say, hey, you can do this on your own. You could take that money and invest it elsewhere. I'm not saying that's going to be the case. I'm just spitting what it could be. It's a case in everything, though. Like, today we were talking on a podcast, like, when I bought up Murphy's Law, I'm shooting videos. Sometimes you never know what's going to go wrong. The battery dies, runs out of memory, a loud noise. You never know what's going to happen next. And that's why I bought it up. And it's just funny that I didn't know this was going to happen next. I was just going home, said hey to my girl, having a good time, thought I was about to edit. Then I get this call and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to do this shit right now. And then I'm going to have to go upload it, make show notes, make this happen. And you guys are like, yo, man, just bring it back to the weed. And that's what I'm trying to do. But I just get a little amped up sometimes. I guess the biggest thing I've been focusing on in terms of hustle and cannabis is just reaching out to more brands, more companies. I feel like there's a new school, way, Instagram, direct message, let's just say social media. And then there's the old school, door to door, cold calls, person to person. And I feel like these are kind of separated. But where I am, and I'm thankful enough to grow up kind of doing this shit throughout my life, that I'm trying to combine both. And I love both. And I love getting on a phone call. I love seeing somebody face to face. To me, is the strongest thing ever. When you see somebody face to face, you can talk to them and see and feel what they're actually feeling. And you could work whatever you got to do. You can talk to them. You can see like the realness. And now social media is great as well, but you got to be killing it on both avenues. At least that's what I'm thinking now. And I'm going to continue to do so because like to me, there's so many people who have the mentality of either or both combined. And I want to hit every avenue. And I feel like this old school way, this way that businesses were built from the ground up for decades is kind of going away. And it's kind of becoming seen as this thing that's all social. And the fact that it's seen like that, I feel like these younger generations might not be as apt to, make a cold call, go knock on a door and talk to somebody. And myself included, I've been working on doing that because it's not easy. It's so much easier to send a message on social fucking media than go knock on a door or talk to somebody or call somebody on the phone. This other shit is legit and it can work and it's done wonders for me. Don't get me wrong. I love social media. I love the space I'm in. All I'm saying is I am trying to embrace the old school more. I've always thought myself kind of an old school guy at heart, you know? I could always relate to that mentality. And I don't know why. I don't know. I always felt like I could see the whole picture and kind of understand stuff. And I say that like not as bragging at all. That's just kind of what I've seen as my gift. You know, I feel like we all have gifts. We can all do something and make something of who we are. And I feel like a couple of my gifts are just being able to talk to anybody and everybody and give them attention and actually care. Because when people talk to me, I actually care. And I feel like that's, to me, the best gift I ever got. You know, apart from my family, you know, my fiance, all that love inside. I'm saying like actual traits in myself is that I actually care and I actually would like to listen and want to listen and I want to learn. So I'm thankful for that. And damn, this joint got me on one. I'm on like some type of business tangent with the old school, new school. And it's interesting to see like maybe you want to know what else I got coming up in the docket for the podcast, for the show. You're hanging out this long. You're like, dude, you're doing a solo cast in your house, shit fucked up, and you got props for that. I got props for you. For real. Fucking email me right now, jack@truebuzztv.com, and I'll send you out some free shit. For real. Depending what it is, you might have to pay $5 shipping, but I got you on a product. I'm not even playing. That's the mood I'm in right now. And there's probably a limit to 10 of those. So first 10 people that hit me up, you good. You good. Maybe pay 5, 10 shipping. It's all yours. We're talking like a bong or a nectar collector or some shit. I'm just in that given mood, you know? Gotta clear out the closet too. Got some new inventory coming in with these True Buds tanks. Let's talk a little more about the True Buds tank top. So I made probably 3 or 4 videos. I've been working on this product for about a year and a half. And how it first came to me is I was on the beach. I was wearing board shorts with like no pockets or there's a back pocket. And I'm like, shit. And you know, you just want to walk in the water sometimes. You don't have to up to your legs. You don't have to walk all the way in. And then that's where like it hit me. I'm like, yo, I could have and I wanted to have a little hidden pouch. So I figured I could have a little hidden pouch right there, like in the side of the tank. And then I would make like a 3-slot thing so you could put your vape, your lighter, your joints, whatever you're feeling, locked down, just keeping it real for, you know, the person who needs some space but doesn't have room. And on your tank top, have you ever seen a pocket tank top? That's when I was like, this is dope. And that's when this is going to drop. So this is going to drop here. You know, I'm still working on the fabric and everything, but before the summer hits for damn sure. Ideally, it'll launch mid-spring, so keep an eye out for that True Buds tank top. And for another business advice, business move, like that's kind of why I just came up with this idea. You know, you always hear you got to fix the problem. I've always geeked out on sales shit. I'm not gonna lie, books, listening, like, and I believe that too. You got to fix some type of issue. You have to fix some type of problem for people to want to buy it, or else why would they want to buy it? Maybe on a whim. And I've thought, and I still think that I did fix an issue with this tank top. So I'm happy to see what it does, and it looks dope as fuck. And I believe in it. And I'm gonna rock it. And I already got some pre-orders, so that's enough of me. I'm like looking over. I don't even know where exactly the camera's filming in this new studio here, but this American haze is interesting. You know what's funny too? Before I even smoked back in like 7th grade, you know what my nickname was? Some funny shit. Purple Haze. My boys call me that. I don't even know exactly why. I'd have to get them on the podcast to ask why. As I was editing this podcast together, I think I made a particular point pretty clear, but I just really want to drive it home that no harsh feelings to the studio. In fact, the exact opposite. Props. They handled the situation great. Like I said, Murphy's Law's a bitch. Shit fucks up. I've been in a similar situation before creating video for somebody. And a shitty feeling to be on the other end of the line, like when Tyler was real and hit me up and explained what happened. I'd been there too, so I know how it is. And of course I'm going to be frustrated, but I just really wanted to say that they handled the situation perfectly. Tyler shot me $100 right away. Then the owners of the studio contacted me like, yo, we're going to get you 4 free sessions, which is like $400. So like, I cannot say like enough of how grateful I am for the studio, the chill people. A bunch of them have been on my podcast. So when I was editing this, I was like, shit, I mentioned it several times that I'm not bashing the studio, but I really wanted to drive that point home because I believe in the studio and what they're doing, and I will continue to buy packages through them. And this is a great example of how their customer service was great. Instantly had a text from the owner, called me today, like in tune, they actually care, and that's real. I would be bashing them if they sent me some half-ass email like, oh, you're not going to get your footage. But instead they called me, they made it right. Shit happens. We both wish this didn't happen. I know sure as hell last night everything would have rather been smooth for them. They didn't want to have to deal with this. But shit happens, and I get it. But I wanted to come on at the end here to further elaborate and thank the studio and say once again, they are legit. Murphy's Law happens to all of us. My friends, it's time to bring this podcast to a close.
This is True Buds, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.